2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Los Angeles, California is the scene for the Lakers. The intimidation factor looms large. Anthony Davis is locked in and focused on winning, trying to lead his team as they wind up for the Battle of LA. The epicenter, downtown Los Angeles. Lakers, Clippers, coming up next.
It's the 2K Sports Pregame Show.
And coming up for you shortly, it is the Los Angeles Lakers in action against the Los Angeles Clippers. Checking out the Clippers, home game to start the season. You know the crowd's going to be fired up. The players are going to look to feed off that energy. We'll see if they can come away with a win here in Game 1 of the new year. And you love the build-up to a new season. Lots of anticipation. Shaq, what are you looking for?
There were some VIMs this offseason.
Very interesting moves.
Oh, you like that? Okay,
Yeah.
I understand. And you got to understand, that kind of shift, that right there can shift the balance of power.
Wow. Last year, the Eastern and Western Conference was balanced out. Well, we'll see if the trend reverses this year.
And that'll take it right up to tip as we go courtside.
He took flight and rose above all. He changed the game and became a legend.
Are you ready?
From North Carolina, at guard, 6'6", Michael Jordan! The head coach of the Bulls, Phil Jackson.
It's amazing, I'm the reason everybody fired up this evening. I'm exhausted, barely breathing, holding on to what I believe in. No matter what, you'll never take that from me. My reign is as far as your eyes can see. It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing, so amazing. It's amazing.
Lakers with the ball.
Oh, give me that.
You know, when niggas is rich within a while, style I have much more volume. Classical, too intelligent to be radical, masterful, never a replicant, mathematical. Years and souvenirs for all the years before the store, ideas. It's cool when you freak to the beat. Well, don't sweat the technique.
Rated E for everyone.
Want to know why my guy's so awesome?
Tell me.
Because he's great at pick and roll.
Well, my guy's awesome because his game is gargantuan.
My guy's awesome because he can throw out loops whenever he wants.
My guy's awesome because he can do a fadeaway J with a hand in his face, getting bowed at the same time, nothing but that.
My guy's awesome because he can cross over, he can make great passes, and he can dunk on everybody.
Well, my guy's awesome because he's just better than you're awesome.
My guy's so awesome because his name's Derrick Rose.
Well, my guy's awesome because he has 4 rings.
I can't say nothing about that. I didn't get to the second round. You got that
What's up? Who got next? Yeah. NBA 2K11. Trap.
Big shots from the bottom to the top. Locking up, starting up, baby, don't drop. All we wanna do is win. Feel so good when I'm ready to begin.
Homie, get your scheme up, try to build your team up. That's the G-way when you play 2K. Hey, what's the game mode? What's the new features? Can you make a jump shot sitting in the bleachers? I'ma teach you what you wanna know. Take a shot and let it go. 2K11 with the S-N double O. Pick and roll, dip and dash, defense talking trash. Take a 3 and all you heard was splash.
Big blocks, big shots from the bottom to the top. Locking up, starting up, baby, don't drop. All we wanna do is win. Feel so good when I'm ready to begin.
My game speed is an 85. I'm a Hall of Famer with Laker pride. I pop outside, I'll take it inside. I cross you over with that old school dribble drive. Silent, violent, and when the All-Star game come, put my name in the ballot. Top of my grade, NBA 2K11, best game ever made.
Big shots from the bottom to the top. Locking up, starting up, baby, don't drop. All we wanna do is win. Feel so good when I'm ready to begin. Big shots from the bottom to the top. Locking up, starting up, baby, don't drop. All we wanna do is win. Feel so good when I'm ready to begin.
Yeah, there you have it.
I feel more defiant when y'all hate. Yeah, the only brother in the car race. Serving with the butter like parquet. Rap also so strong, Jay. I'm a little bit of pop, bit of Kanye. You a little bit of Fox and Beyonce. Right. Any beef gonna be get sauteed. Yeah, the fake ones running with the hard face. Bet that pop to your tongue, make your heart race. And I hope you take it all the wrong way. Do you slump near the bum near the bar place? This red light put your in a dark place. You drip, get your hands up. no debating. Crown me king, I'm tired of waiting. People champ, I gotta face it. You disgracing people, sense it that you're faking. I'm the Lord, I'm Michael Satan with the flow and take him out, annihilate him. No mistaken, new sensation, hood pope, pulling up the ruling nation. And I came a long way from the stash house. Now I switch spots like a Dalmatian. Little kid paid by the stash house, and I took my mom's out with my pay. Gotta understand when I black out. I don't give a f about a whack hater. I don't give a f about a rap paper. Need a pound to the Lord, say, oh, you're praise. You a trip, get your hands up. You a real, get your hands up. You a real, get your hands up. You a real, get your hands up.
I'm in the 7, I'm gonna act up. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'ma need you to back up. Spilling the tea, you stirring the cup. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'm in the 7, I'm.
Well, we can finally say the NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Los Angeles Lakers going up against the Los Angeles Clippers here at the Staples Center. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with David Aldridge on our sideline. DA, take it away.
Well, the one-and-done draft requirement will be abolished very soon. In the meantime, the G League professional path has been introduced for those looking to come straight out of high school. A salary of $125,000, potential endorsements, and access to NBA development has enticed more than a few to pursue this new avenue. Kevin?
The G League continues to be a great asset for the NBA. Great stuff, David. Thank you. And here's what the schedule looks like for the Los Angeles Lakers. On Friday, they'll be matching up against Mike Conley and the Utah Jazz. And then on Sunday, they'll host the Charlotte Hornets. And now the Lakers starting group. Green and LeBron at the 2 and the 3. Howard is out there with Anthony Davis. And it's Rondo in at the point guard position. And for the Clippers, Ivica Zubac is out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Paul George. And it's Beverly in at the 1.
You look at the Lakers desperate to surround LeBron with talent to win now. They have improved, but is it enough to go deep in the West?
Here we go. Tip-off goes to the Lakers. Here's Rondo. He kicks to Howard. Outside, Green. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Lakers need to get a shot off here. Rondo. And another shot. And the rejection by Zubac. Leonard against Green. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And the Lakers, for decades, Clark, a magnet for superstar free agents.
Yeah, and you know, guys, in recent years, more of a mixed bag in that regard. Whether it's the turmoil in the Lakers organization, I think that's part of it, or the prospect of playing in LeBron's shadow. A number of elite players have elected to go elsewhere thus far.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. On opening night, Clark, both teams would love to start off, obviously, on a winning note.
Without question. I mean, setting that winning tone, gaining that confidence that comes from winning, and they all count. Wins today are just as important as wins that you get in March and April.
And he can't hit the second.
Many thought the Raptors or Lakers would land Kawhi, but in the end, he came to the Clippers to write his own legacy. Returning to Southern Cal, where he grew up, was a big part of his decision. The big surprise was how Kawhi was out recruiting other stars behind the scenes to join him with the Clippers.
Here's Leonard after Rajon Rondo's bucket. And the rejection by James.
LeBron, one of those players who gets fired up by defense as much as offense, and that block going to put a major bounce in his step.
Everly with the ball. Pass to Leonard. Unable to get that one. Excellent D from Howard. On the wing, Green. Defended by George. George against Green. It's Davis on the wing. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. The shot by LeBron, no good. And now the Clippers on the break. Morris trying to free himself up. And Leonard gets it to go.
And busting it up the floor. Leonard showing a lot of energy on the fast break. If there's one thing he doesn't lack, it's hustle.
Now here's Rondo. Back to LeBron. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Hard to play better defense than that, guys. But right there, James simply overpowered him.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. George passes to Leonard. Zubac's in the post. Working on Howard, and the shot goes in.
Well, you can't give him any room to maneuver on the board because once he does, he's going to make you pay.
There's the pass to James. Pass to Howard. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
That's his first. And last season, really not a fun one for Dwight Howard as he missed a lot of time. A lot of games left on the table by him as he has battled those back issues.
The first free throw is good. And with Howard, his presence was missed in the lineup last year due to injuries.
And Howard isn't what he once was, but he can still make a difference on the floor. That size and rebounding really hard to replace on a team by just one player.
And both free throws good for Howard.
Howard, a physical and muscular, authoritative big guy who intimidates most nights. His physicality, very impressive.
Now here's Beverly. And it's Rajon Rondo with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul.
George with no one around. No good on the quick three.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. He makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Rondo kicks to LeBron. To the inside. And Rondo with the basket on the assist by Davis.
Yes.
Rondo's got his second basket of the game.
If he's one thing, he's efficient in the paint. Rondo really good with the positioning there close to the basket.
Beverly, the pass to Leonard. The shot will not fall. And the Lakers going the other way now. Green taking his time here. James finds Green. Outside for Rondo. Now here's LeBron. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Marcus Morris picks one up there.
And one thing you can say about Green, I don't know of too many players who are as dependent on their three-point shot as he is. He needs that shot to be falling for him to make an impact.
First free throw is good. Both free throws good from Green. I'll grade the Clippers signing of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, the grand finale of the wildest summer in NBA free agent history.
A ton of big moves. You think of the star players who've changed teams, 1/3 of the league's all-NBA selections, and 5 out of 10 of the reigning all-star starters. In the end, we saw 7 players who've changed teams, signing for over $100 million each. Put that in perspective, only 8 players had ever done that in league history.
Here's Zubac after Rajon Rondo's bucket. 6 to shoot. Beverly against Rondo. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds, and they look strong here in the early going.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. This, of course, their first opportunity to play the Lakers.
And although they were the better team last year by overall record, this was a competitive matchup for them.
Guys, they split the season series, and there's always randomness to this game. The unpredictability of it. You win some, you lose some, but they certainly want to impose their talent level tonight.
I need something to believe in. I need something that can keep me holding up in the ceiling. And I need something that will keep me on the ground. It's kind of strange being human. Yeah, it's living really just a pastime.
Green is checked in for the Clippers. Williams comes in for Patrick Beverly. The Lakers also with a sub. JaVale McGee's checked in for Dwight Howard. Morris kicks to Williams. Five on the clock. Rondo with the steal. Floats it up for Davis. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Here's George. Great touch on the 16-footer.
There's not much a defender can do when George decides to go up with the pull-up. I mean, you've got to respect both his shooting and his driving ability because of his speed on the dribble.
Now here's James. He dishes it to McGee. And the rejection by Leonard. James with the bucket.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear. They're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
Here is Williams. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Here's Leonard. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops.
Yeah, and from mid-range, Leonard's jump shot is money. It doesn't matter if it's off the dribble or catch and shoot. He never loses his touch.
Here's LeBron. Trying to get open is Davis. Nice shot by James. James has got 8 points.
That kind of energy and hustle on the glass usually produces good results.
Passes it to George. Rebound the Lakers.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
And the dunk by LeBron.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
And, you know, it's an all-out effort they've come in with. Very aggressive offense so far.
Now, here is George. Green up on top. Outside Leonard. Rebound by JaVale McGee.
Yeah, you know, guys, this has been far from his best game. A disappointing outing for both him and the team.
Now Rondo. He has 6. Outside Davis. 5 to shoot. Good work defensively by Morris.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over.
Green. The basket is good off the assist from Williams.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Leonard against James. Green, the pass to McGee. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Mark, you were so good at such an early age in your basketball career. At what point did you personally realize just how far the game could take you?
You know, it really resonated with me, Kevin, I think at a summer basketball camp at Miami of Ohio when some of the better campers, high school campers, were asked to play with the college guys at night. And then during pickup games in my hometown of Cleveland with some of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jim Jones and the late Terry Furlow and Mike Mitchell, and being able to compete somewhat with those guys at 15 and 16 years of age and having them encourage me to keep going and that I'd have a chance to do what they were doing at the time, which was play pro ball.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Landry Shamet's checked in for Marcus Morris, and Reggie Jackson subbed in for George. And then for the Lakers, Markieff Morris is checked in for Anthony Davis. Kyle Kuzma comes in for Rajon Rondo. And Dwyane Wade subbed in for Danny Green.
And the Lakers last season going against the grain to surround LeBron James with playmakers, not shooters. And many criticized that move.
And, you know, guys, you look at it, LeBron is at his very best with the ball in his hands, which means he needs room to attack the lane. It's clear that a course correction was needed.
Now, here's Shamet. Pass to Williams. Over Waiters. Williams can't get it to go.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
And, you know, establishing that physical dominance early gives you a big mental edge, too. Don't discount that.
Now, here's Green. Leonard on the wing. From deep. And James pulls it down.
Guys, this hasn't been his quarter. I mean, to me, he just doesn't look completely comfortable or confident.
2 points. That one goes. James has got 14 points.
Their play on both ends has been superb. We'll see if they can maintain the momentum.
And, you know, nothing like getting an opponent on the ropes early. You love that if you're on that side of the scoreboard, and they are landing some haymakers now.
Here's Williams. Following the basket by LeBron James. 23 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Looking for McGee. He gets it there.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
And don't leave out the coaching staff here now. I mean, their game plan has been perfect.
And here's Leonard. He has 5. From deep three-point range, and the last second attempt doesn't fall. And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. Lakers lead by 17. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. LeBron James is the all-time leader in playoff field goals made, and he had this to say about his ability to nail clutch shots.
I always feel like I got it. I always feel like I got in the clutch, no matter what's going on throughout the course of a game. Even when you're struggling at times or you're not shooting the ball particularly well, I just feel like it's going in.
And you know, Greg, that's the type of confidence you got to have.
The words of a leader. James has proven time and time again that he's dangerous in late game situations.
And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Lakers.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So for the Lakers right now, we've got Markieff Morris. LeBron James is out there with Dwyane Wade. And there's JaVale McGee. And it's Kuzma in at the 3 spot. The drive by LeBron. Up and no good. Brings his field goal percentage down to 70% in 10 shots. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, we know about Lou Williams' story. The 3-time Sixth Man of the Year may be undersized, but he keeps finding angles to score. Williams said, "I can't shoot straight up. I've always played crooked. It's weird, but it's something I've developed, fading away from guys. I have bigger defenders on me, and it's just about creating space." Kevin, even well into his 30s, Lou Will still does it as well as anybody.
I would totally agree, David. He is always good. Thank you. Now here's Leonard after LeBron James's miss. Now the pass to Williams. They kick it out to Green. Outside Jackson. Fires the 3. LeBron with some nice D.
And you could tell he thought he had a little more space, but the defender was right there.
You know, that's a trademark of his defense. Quick to react, close down the shooter, and then affect the shot.
Love the aggressive attitude. I mean, no invitation needed for him to take it strong to the basket.
And here are the Clippers now after the basket by the Lakers. Williams against Kuzma. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Greg, I'm just so impressed with the level of finesse and craftiness that Lou Williams always plays with.
And Kevin, you don't stay a perennial Sixth Man of the Year candidate at Williams' age without having more than a few tricks up your sleeve. He's so good in tight spaces and can find a way to get a shot up where others just have to kick it out.
Shooting 2.
They throw good, Lou Williams. Clark, if you were a coach on a team, what would you want to see from a guy by the end of his rookie season in the NBA?
You know, Kevin, I won't be specific because I think it's more general in my estimation. Owning his development, whatever that means, embracing how he's going to get better. If it's a particular area of the game, yes, but understanding the professionalism of work ethic and developing good habits. And really owning that. That's what I would want to see. He's as solid as it gets from the line. I mean, give him the opportunity. He's cashing in on those.
Down low, here's Waiters. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches. He used to say, "That ain't gonna get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now."
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
That's a nice play, getting the separation he needs for a clean look.
And you look at him, he's given up an awful lot of size in that matchup, so he needs to have the ability to create separation.
Now here's Howard. James outside. And the rejection by Zubac. Inside, Shamet, the rebound by the Lakers. 17 points was their biggest margin. Waiters on the wing. He's covered by Shamet. Count that one. James has got 4 points this quarter.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And, Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
Morris outside. Back to Waiters. And Waiters with the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones.
Hey, they've got a nice, comfortable lead here, fellas. Might as well keep it simple. Do it a plain, simple one-hander, just like pound cake.
I would agree. Here's Green, following the bucket by the Lakers. Zubac finds Jackson. Lets it go with a three. Rebound the Lakers. Howard's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. It's Kuzma penetrating. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
Well, constantly finding lanes to the basket, getting great looks inside.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Morris is checked in for Green. Paul George comes in for Landry Shamet. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Lou Williams. The Lakers also making some changes. Anthony Davis, he's checked in for Morris. Green comes in for Dwyane Wade. Rajon Rondo subbed in for LeBron. One thing about Kyle Kuzma, Clark, he's not a ball stopper. When he touches the ball, he is shooting it.
I would not disagree with you there, guys. He is fearless looking for a shot. He hunts his shot aggressively, and he's very efficient. He doesn't need a lot of dribbles, but the one thing I like about him is that he doesn't hold on to that ball long. He's going to make a quick, decisive move or get it out of his hands.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket?
Now here's Rondo. 6 points for him. Kuzma outside. Here's Rondo. Good work defensively by Morris. Clippers trail by 12. Jackson has the open look. That ball, nice speed that time from George.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
Yeah, it looks like they've gained a little bit of confidence as the lid has come off the hoop.
Now here's Howard. Pass to Kuzma. Goes back up, and it's sent back by George.
Well, I tell you what, Paul George is so tough on defense. Love the way he gets after people. He's excellent at staying in the play as well as staying in his stance so he can come up with rejections and deflections.
From about 19 feet, the Lakers keeping it going. A new 14-second shot clock. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
An aggressive player who draws attention. Howard is used to getting hit by the defense and plays quite well through contact.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here. And he makes the first. Clark, the level of nuance and the footwork that keeps evolving every few years. Talk about the changes that you have seen from the time you've played to the exquisite footwork we see now.
Well, you know, some of my peers would say that these guys are being allowed to walk and have it talked about as good footwork. So you work with Reggie and other guys, and I hear them all the time saying guys are getting away with carrying the ball and so forth. But the footwork is pretty good. I mean, when you think about it, the step-back three-point shot, the ability to make plays off the dribble, all attributed to footwork. I think it's just an evolution of the game. As players see more and more of excellent work on the court, they're able to emulate it a lot sooner and a lot better.
Here's Green, following the basket by Marcus Morris. Kuzma passes to Howard. Banked in off the glass. Howard's got 5.
The concentration, the strength, the balance. Howard doing a nice job staying focused on the rim despite getting hit.
The shot by George, no good.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
Now Howard. Paul George missing from long range. Kuzma passes to Howard. Lakers working the ball around now. And it's Green missing. Clippers trail by 11. To the paint, Beverly finds Morris. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
That's his second personal foul.
Yeah, and that's some physical defense against Morris, who attacks with one of his many moves.
Shooting for Los
and we'll
Angeles.
just see what he does here
Marcus
at the
Morris.
line.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good.
Yeah, and of course, Marcus with a twin brother, Markeith, went to college together, played in the pros together. You'll have a hard time finding a closer pair of siblings.
Leonard, he's checked in for Jackson. And Morris drops them both.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
Yeah, I don't think it's an accident that aggressiveness correlates with playing better. So the aggressiveness is starting to pay off.
Kuzma outside. Passes it to Howard. Howard draws the double, and we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there.
It'll be a jump ball.
Clippers with the ball. And here's Beverly. He brings it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. 9-point game. To the middle.
2 minutes remaining. First half. 2 minutes.
Zubac's in the post. He's guarded by Howard. Leonard with the ball. He's got 12. Zubac's trying to break loose. But they recover it. And the wide open shot from Morris. And a miss there on the triple.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Now here's Rondo. He has 6. Kuzma left side. Paul George with the steal. To the inside. Leonard, no luck.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Green. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
That's his first personal foul.
The Lakers have shot the ball well from the free throw line, 8 of 9.
2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. The Lakers making a switch here. McGee's checked in. Both free throws good from Green. 1:10 left here in the second. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
And Leonard enjoys jamming it home, Kevin. Got to keep him as far away from the hoop as possible.
Lakers leading by 9. Outside Rondo. Here's the teardrop, and the shot goes down.
And, you know, that sequence was all about the screen, in my mind, worked off of it to get a perfectly clean look there.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And you know, you'll take what he can give you from the free throw line. Looking at his numbers, just really not one of his strengths. Shooting in the low 60s last season.
You know, guys, when you look at those numbers last year for him, I think it does affect how much you're willing to go after contact, because you're a little fearful of getting to the foul line unless you're in the and one situation. Too many trips to the line when you shoot it as poorly as he does actually can hurt you.
George, no good.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Well, it was speculated all of last season and shortly after the finals ended that Anthony Davis had his wish fulfilled by getting traded to the Lakers.
And Davis and LeBron make as scary a duo as you can think of in the NBA. Missed out on some of the other marquee free agents, but AD will get a plethora of looks playing alongside LeBron.
And that one falls for Davis. And the trade for Anthony Davis, a risk for the Lakers, but they feel, Greg, that both sides will find an extension this offseason.
There is mutual interest from both sides. Lakers made the trade confident Davis would resign. A bit of a leap of faith, but the Lakers did everything they could to secure Davis long term.
And so Anthony Davis nails both of them.
Really always a plus to have a big guy stroke it from the line like that. The soft touch on full display.
From deep, George, the shot drops. His shooting percentage improves. He's 3 for 7 now with that basket.
He can certainly stroke it from deep. The three-pointer is not a shot that George is going to pass up.
Rondo looking over the floor. On the wing, Davis. With 4 seconds on the clock, and he sinks the layup. And the Lakers lead by 13.
And, you know, got to admire the patience inside from Davis. Outstanding at staying under control, taking his time, and burying the quality shot.
And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers. 13 points up at the end of the period. Their defense has been terrific in this game. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. LeBron James had it going on in the first quarter. He had 18 points, 2 assists, and 1 block. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what'd you think?
Ernie, the first half was all about Bron. Time after time, we see him taking over games. But to do it like this many years, it's unreal, Ernie.
Kenny, what's your take on the Clippers?
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better into a better rhythm in the second half and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
And now with the second half about to get underway, let's send you back courtside. See everybody with Kevin Harlan.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. It's been a clinic out there by James.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
Well, you know what, guys? It was all about efficient offense, not rushing things, taking your time, finding the best shot on every possession.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Ivica Zubac. Then it's Patrick Beverley. And it's George in at the 2 spot. That's who's out there for the Clippers. Well, you knew that Kawhi Leonard would be a huge name on the free agency market last summer, especially after winning his second finals MVP.
And Kawhi let the pieces fall before making his decision. Was the last major free agent to choose where he was going to play. Ended up shaking up the NBA in the process by joining the Clippers.
The first one falls.
And the soft-spoken Leonard is now an elite talent in this league, an athletic forward who leads by example.
Both free throws good from Kawhi Leonard. Here's James. Over to the wing. Beverly against Rondo. Davis in the corner. The Clippers grab the miss. Zubac has got 5 rebounds tonight. And George with the stuff.
And George is very good in how he leaks out in transition, times it perfectly, and really creates high percentage shots for himself as a result.
Now here's Rondo. Pass to LeBron. Shoots over Leonard. And LeBron gets it to go with the assist by Rondo. 20 points for LeBron.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on him.
Here's Green. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Green's got 6.
He always had great instincts defensively. Rondo using that length there to come up with the steal.
George against Davis. George with the bucket.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Lakers leading by 11. Outside Rondo. To the middle. Here's Davis. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo.
Assist from
Rondo's got 3 assists now in this one. And there's the pass to Morris. Leonard on the wing. Kicks it to Beverly. The dish to Morris. Clock at 6. Rondo against Beverly. Misses off the right iron.
Or the defense refusing to give up anything easy. Love seeing that kind of intensity.
James and LeBron throws it down.
So special and exciting to watch greatness. LeBron James tonight playing at the highest level.
Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Morris inside. Davis is on it. Morris, no good.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Now Beverly. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. And there's the feed to Leonard. Back to Beverly from outside the arc. That shot, no good. And the Lakers will go the other way with it. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. And that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home. Here's James. Tries again. And the rejection by Zubac. Beverly up top, guarded by Green. George looking over the floor. Launches a 3. It falls through, making him 6 for 11 in the game.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you think his team would have the lead.
And it's Rondo with the ball for the Los Angeles Lakers. 17 points was their biggest margin. And here is Davis. 8 points for him. Right side, Green takes the 3, and that one falls, coming off of Davis's feed. Green's got 9.
And Green is a world-class sniper, laser, an excellent shooter. Great at getting his puppy set on these shots from deep.
And the Clippers call time here.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
Yeah, you know, just look at the numbers, guys. I mean, they are being taken to the woodshed in the paint.
Landry Shamet's checked in for Zubats. Williams comes in for George. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Patrick Beverly. Morris is checked in for the Lakers. Dwyane Wade comes in for Danny Green. Now here's Williams. He's got 5. Now here's Leonard. And the Clippers miss again.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's...
Oh, my goodness!
Oh, yeah.
What a play!
Tell you what, just add that one to the highlight reel. James is truly one of the greatest slam dunkers of all time.
Williams kicks to Shamet. Inside, here's Jackson. And he comes up with the deuce. Jackson's got 6.
And really a good job spotting his teammate near the bucket and then just pinpoint passing for the finish.
The drive by LeBron. Morris trying to free himself up. And LeBron James Clark climbing the all-time scoring list. Last season passing Michael Jordan. This season, Kobe Bryant. Clark, any chance LeBron someday passes another Laker great, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for the most career points in NBA history?
I think it's simply a matter of his health, because if he stays healthy, then it's not if, but when. By the time his contract runs out, guys, in 2022, he'll be right in that neighborhood of my all-time favorite player, and I think the greatest player to play, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
And that one misses.
Well, I don't think it's been a secret. I mean, LeBron James hopes to become the greatest of all time. At least that's my perspective on it. Last season, he surpassed his idol, Michael Jordan, in career scoring. He called it one of the real pinnacles of his career.
And the Clippers making a change here. Green's checked in. And that trip coming up empty, missing both.
Amongst the many things that I appreciate most about LeBron James, and there are a lot, just leadership. I mean, everybody else just kind of naturally falls into place behind him because he's such a good example and a positive leader.
And you might think about what sets LeBron James apart among the all-time greats. He's the only player who's top 10 in both scoring and assists.
Well, I would even take it a little further, guys. His overall all-around brilliance is what truly separates him from the rest of the great players, because he's top 20 in steals as well as approaching top 50 in rebounds. That's remarkable, and he's done it from day one.
Lakers leading by 15. Waiters outside, feeds it to Morris. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. Here's Shamet. That one rolling around and rims out. The Lakers have gone 7 of 12 from the floor since coming out of the break. Here's LeBron, and finished off by LeBron.
You got to keep this guy away from the basket. I mean, that's about as easy as it gets for LeBron.
Jackson against LeBron. On the wing, Jackson. 8 points for him. Green, the pass to Williams. 6 on the shot clock. Over Waiters. The shot by Williams, no good. The Lakers have gone 8 of 13 on shot attempts to begin the second half. Here's Waiters. That one wide left.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
And the call on the shot sends him to the line.
And Jackson certainly doesn't lack confidence. A speedy guard who can fill it up in no time.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Lakers.
And they haven't been pushed around in the paint at all in this game. They have been the aggressors.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
First free throw is good. Both free throws good from Jackson.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Yeah, you know what? And I think they've just got to keep on keeping on. Keep drawing contact, attacking, getting to the line. That will certainly give them a chance to get back into the game.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, last season the G League tested out an expansion of the clear path rule. Now that expansion is making its way to the NBA. It should discourage those intentional fouls that slow up teams on the fast break. Fans wanted it, and analysts clamored for it. That will allow the amazing athletes in this league more opportunities to show what they can do on the fast break.
You're right, David. A welcome change. Thank you. Green dishes to Jackson. Back to Green. Jackson against James. Jackson down low. And James pulls it down. James has got his 7th rebound here tonight. Great D that time from Leonard. Clippers trailed by 19. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And all you got to do is look at the rebounding margin as to why they hold the lead.
And you know what? That tells the story in a lot of games, guys. And here you go. It's telling the story tonight, too.
They get it again. Williams passes to Shamet. He kicks to Leonard. From deep. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
And checking out the stats for Waiters, last season's performance for him. Last season, put up about 12 points per game, 2 assists and 2 rebounds. And there isn't much to write home about with his numbers. I think he'd like to up his contributions.
Yeah, but you got to earn that chance. I mean, you get what you earn. His numbers are fine, but he's not going to get a lot more floor time unless he turns it up a notch.
One shot.
And he shows the focus there, nails the technical. And I just love the skill set that Markieff Morris has, Greg, at that forward position.
He really is a do-it-all type of forward for this team. Can step outside and shoot, but has no problem guarding anyone on the front line of the opposition.
Davis is checked in for Markieff Morris. Here's James, trying to get open as Davis, and James gets it to go on the assist by McGee.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Jackson finds Williams. Davis against Leonard. A floater, and that's 2 points on the layup. Leonard's got 18 points in the game.
Oh, it's not easy trying to guard Leonard inside. I can tell you that, guys. I mean, he's so good at using his body to get shots up over the defense.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
Williams gets the bucket.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
James against Jackson, taken away by Williams.
And this will be the last possession of the quarter if they're patient.
Yeah, they've got to hold for the last shot here.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
Here's Waiters. And there's a whistle that goes on Landry Shamet. That is his first foul of the game.
His first personal foul. Substitution on the court.
James way outside. And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16 points. They've got their field goal percentage to thank for that. They've been hot from all over the floor tonight. Back right after this. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
And they'd love to see every possession end this way. True team basketball.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. And on the court for the Lakers to start the fourth. LeBron and Davis, the incredible forward pair. Green is out there with Dwyane Wade, and it's McGee in at the pivot spot manning the middle. And he uses the glass on the layup. Davis has got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Lakers. Beverly with the ball. Pass to Green. Dishes to George. Shoots it. And that one hits back iron.
You know, the fact is, he's not a lock from there, but he was open enough to where he should have hit that shot.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and polish.
Gets the 14-footer to fall. George has got 9 points here in the second half.
And this is one of George's main strengths, a phenomenal mid-range scorer.
And the dunk by LeBron.
Outstanding distribution there. I mean, what impressive passing ability.
Pass to Beverly. Now Zubac. Last season, the NBA announcing the launch of a league in Africa, along with FIBA. Clark, what do you think of that move?
I think it's another example, Kevin, of the globalization of the game and the NBA's intentional, purposeful way of expanding and continuing to grow the game for the sake of the business of basketball, which is a game that obviously you and I love.
And Clark, we see so many foreign players come into the NBA and play well. Not just play, but play well.
Yeah, and not just Africa, although
right.
A number of players from Africa, but a number of different countries have signed on. It could make for a more exciting league.
That free throw good from Shamet. And the Clippers making a switch here. Morris is checked in. The Lakers also making some changes. Dwight Howard's checked in for JaVale McGee. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Dwyane Wade. Good on both. We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. Now here's James. He's covered by Shamet. Morris against LeBron. And the wide open shot from Green. That three off the mark. Clippers trail by 18. Now Beverly. And here's George for three. Yes, indeed, it is good. He's now 8 for 14.
Wow, something's brewing, guys. The three-pointers just continue to flow.
Yeah, they've had a great second half from long range, Greg. I mean, things are definitely starting to look up for him.
And it's James missing.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Green kicks to Rondo. Back to Green. 6 to shoot. From downtown. Kept alive. Davis. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
Just so resourceful as a player. Davis gets the job done inside in all sorts of ways. And that's one of them right there, crashing the offensive glass, getting that second chance bucket.
Morris looking over the floor. Another shot. And it's Zubac laying it in.
Defensively, you just can't afford to give these easy looks up. Just asking to get burned if you do.
Outside Rondo. Floats one up. Here's Davis, and it's Davis with the jam.
How about the leaping ability of Davis? Easily gets off the ground to throw it down. And he's a quick jumper and decision maker.
George passes to Zubac. Shamet with it. He's guarded by Howard. Down low, here's George, and it's good. 2 points. George has got 7 points for the quarter.
He's come out here in the second half and done a nice job moving, getting good looks, and finding his range.
James, the pass to Davis. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. James has got 3 assists now in this one.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Morris against Howard. And again, the Clippers good for 2.
And I like the different looks that Morris can give you inside, outside, and in transition.
And the Lakers call time here.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
Is you thinking I'm jumping and leaking and immediately? Show up this evening and wait till you sleeping. Kick it up when I'm standing for motion. I'm just trying to make all my pockets obese. Done with I just want the Lucci. Show me and all of my Gucci's give me. Let's lose chains, take his boot that ain't PF chains and taking K mistakes.
Kawhi Leonard's checked in for the Clippers. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
During that break, Frank Vogel had some real words for his team. He said, "This is where mistakes can kill us. This is where mistakes can turn this thing completely around. Protect the basketball and make the simple play." In other words, guys, no hero ball right now.
To the paint, George. It's good. George has got 23.
Seems like he can't miss right now, guys. I mean, completely in the zone this quarter.
James dishes to Davis. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Marcus Morris picks one up there.
Davis is really the total package. A mobile, sharp-shooting big guy who can score from everywhere.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one. Clark, when you think of athleticism specifically, talk about the changes athletically we've seen in the league, say, since the 80s.
It's dramatically different. I mean, there have been tremendous athletes through every decade of the league's existence, but it's gotten better with improved training and more knowledge about the anatomy of the body and how to enhance its performance. But now it seems like great athletes are, you know, a dime a dozen versus 8 to a dozen back in the 80s.
It's stolen by Green. And some very quick points for him on that possession.
And even with the big lead, he remains focused on the task at hand.
Yeah, and you know, that is some shaky and shoddy defensive work. They got to tighten it up.
Here's Beverly. Rebounded by Howard. Howard's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. And finished off by Davis.
There is a bunch to appreciate about LeBron's game. His passing is off the charts. Just look at that feed.
Pass to Zubac. Back to George. Leonard with the ball. Picked up by Davis. And Davis sends it back.
Boy, I tell you what, Davis uses his length so well. I mean, a defensive stalwart who holds his ground, and because of his timing and length and athleticism, he's an excellent shot blocker.
George against Green. To end the run. Tips it, and George able to finish. George has got 11 here in this quarter alone.
Well, I think you've got to like and appreciate the effort there, the hustle. George staying with the possession, then uses his length to finish off the miss.
Here's Davis. No good on the shot. Good work defensively by Morris. And here's Beverly. He brings it up for the Clippers. They trail by 18. LeBron with the block. LeBron is doubled. The pass to Davis. Outside, Green. Stolen by George. And here comes the break. The pull-up. The Clippers rebound. Leonard. Here's Morris. And Davis sends it back. And here is James. Lakers working the ball around now. And Davis gets it to go on the assist by James. James has got 6 assists in the game.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
And the Clippers call time here. Hey, Clark, the NBA moved the presentation of the MVP award to after the conclusion of the final. You like that?
Yes and no. I think you have 2 separate awards. You could have a playoff MVP or a finals MVP, which we have. And then you have a regular season MVP. The MVP is for the body of work done during the regular season. So I think there should be a clear separation between the two, quite honestly. So, no, I don't like it.
At least you're honest, Clark.
I came with them did. Still living in crib. You can't even comfort a kid. Want some money? I'm in that ghost. You can set it with 100. I walk in and I do what I want. Just spend it like 30. I got enough bread to feed you the bird. Bought a diamond dish. I'm up in New York. I'm in rock stacks. Speaking out facts. I used to plug it up X.
Now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
Well, to come in here facing a hostile crowd and have a game like he's had, that's what separates the good players from the great players. Rondo against Beverly. Leonard attacking over James. And the Clippers miss again.
Well, you've got to be there defensively. I mean, that's an easy mid-range jumper that he'll typically drain.
Down low. Deft touch on the alley-oop.
Oh, my goodness. Save that one. I want to see that again.
Me too. Just absolutely beautiful.
Virtually impossible to top that alley-oop.
Leonard kicks to Morris.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Are any changes you'd like to see made in the process when players and teams are fined for any number of things? Incidents on the floor or off the floor?
Well, I think there's a place for fines, and the different amounts depending on how egregious the act is by a player or team makes some sense. I think having different categories. But I'm one that would rather hit hard and less often. So I think if you want to minimize the number of finable offenses, then make the penalty be greater for those things that are finable.
And so the ball out of bounds. Davis touched it left.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Lakers.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And guys, when you're going head-to-head against someone 4 times over the course of a season, it's a great feeling to snatch that first one. Good in-game adjustments tonight against the Clippers.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for LeBron.
And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone else on his team.
And they double up James to the inside. That's good from Caldwell Pope on the assist by James.
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yep, to have a stress-free win on the road, very satisfying. The fans are already headed for the exit.
Reggie Johnson for 2.
You can appreciate the fight now, but it isn't how they came into the game.
Yeah, you know, I agree with you. They waited too long to finally ramp themselves up.
Cook, good.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
And, you know, this run shows what kind of attitude this team has. I mean, the win is there. Go get it.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. To the wing right side. Here's Patterson, and it's the Clippers scoring again. Here is Cook. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Hey, LeBron, congrats on the win. What do you think made the difference tonight?
Defense. We made our mark defensively. We understand that for the long term, we have to defend at a high level. We've been doing that.
It does start at that end, LeBron. Congrats again. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. That concludes the first game of the NBA season. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.